Good
Yep.
evening, sir.
Good evening. So, could anyone recall what we did last time?
So we learned about coordinate system, UCS, WCS, relative absolute coordinate, uh,
Yes.
commands in draw tools, mm,
Yes,
like
that's
circle, arc, and etc.
yeah. That
That's it.
absolutely comes under the draw tools, right? Yes. Someone had asked on the group about the internship project. The internship project is decided by the management at the time of internship. So, depending on the projects available at that time only, you'll be told which project will be there and who will be taking it. Okay. I hope that clears the point. So let's start for today. We'll be seeing some of the remaining draw tools that were left, that is of our need. And after that, we'll start with modify tools. Okay, let's. So we have seen up till now over here draw tools. Of course, hatch will be looking later on. Hatch, gradient, boundary. This commands will look later on. Now, if you pin it over here, you have some extra draw tools. Now we have spline fit. We have spline control vertices, that is your spline CV. Now what is difference between this? Let's see. So spline fit, you can see over here, is like a polyline only with curves. Okay, give space. If you select this, you get certain kinds of grip points. Now with the help of this grip points, your curves are controlled. So how your curves are going to be, that is how it has been controlled. Okay, so that is why this is known as spline fit. Now why fit? Because the control vertices or the grip points, we call this as a grip point, they lie on the line itself. Okay, on this spline itself it lies, so this is known as spline fit. But if you go to spline control vertices, if you select the line, the points, the grip points which controls the curves lies outside of this line. So you can see over here, these are your control vertices, and with this vertices you can control the curve, how the curve is going to be. This is how you can control it. So this is known as spline control vertices, and this is known as spline fit. So fit, you can understand it fits on the line. So from that you can remember spline fit. Now, of course, you can convert a spline of CV, that is spline control vertices, can be converted into spline fit. So just hover on this arrow, click it. You can say over here fit, and you can see the points are now on the line. So this is how it can be changed. And if you come down over here, the same spline fit can be converted into control vertices, and you can just select and bring this up and down. Okay, so this is your spline control vertices. After that, we have is a construction line. Now, if you come over here, this is what is your construction line. Now, construction line is an infinite line. Okay, we were talking about line segments before, but this is an infinite line. Why this is an infinite line is that this space that you are having, the model space, is infinite. You cannot find the ends of it. So if I create a construction line, I'll click on this. You have to just click on one point and then you have to select in which axis you want it. So let's say I want it vertical. Okay, so I'll just have it, hold shift, so temporary ortho will be on, and I'll just click it. So this is a straight line, hold shift and temporary ortho, and I will have a horizontal line. Escape. Now you can see this, you cannot find the ends of this line, how much you go towards right, how much you go towards left. It is going on continuously up till the end of your workspace, and you know this workspace has been infinite, so you cannot find the end of this. So this is your construction line. Now we have a re. So if I click on
Sir,
this,
what is the use of this one, sir? What is the use of construction?
generally, if you don't want anything ending properly at the start only, so when we'll be creating plan, I will show you. So let's say I don't know where are the end points of this line. Okay, I don't know where the line is going to end for my plan. I am starting from one of the corners. So having offsets, creating walls, and this, I can have construction line, and at the end, I can just trim this off. So I can just trim this off this side, let's say. Okay, my plan continues from this corner, so I can just go on creating it continuously, having this as my bottom point of the plan and this as my leftmost point of the plan. Okay, and from this corner I can just go on creating, and once I find the end, I can just trim off that end point. Okay, I hope that is clear.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, now this was your construction line. After that you have ray. Ray is same, but ray has one side infinite and one side limited. So you can see over here, one side of it is limited wherever I click first. So if I go to ray, I click it, this side is limited, and the next side that I am having, you can see, is infinite. So if I zoom out, you can see it is going on, but the left side of it that I have, you can see, is limited. It is not going till the infinity. In construction line, both the sides were going for the infinity. So this is the difference over here. So that's your re. After that you have a points. So let's say you want to create multiple points. I can just go on clicking and points are created. So some of the points you may not able to see also. Okay, because the size is very small, but you can see over here, if I hover, there are points in this. Okay, so if I hover, there are points over here. Now how to see the points or change the point style, this is very minute points. So go to utilities, and over here we have an option called as point style. So I click on point style, and over here different types of point styles are available. Okay, so if I want to represent it as a plus sign, I can represent as a plus, and you can see now I can see the points that I created. So these are your point styles. Okay, so you can see the points I can pick. You can open the point style by typing p type also. So just give shortcut p type and you get the point style. Okay, so you can access from the utilities or you can access it from here. So this is your point style. After that we have over here is divide and we have a measure. Now what is divide and measure? Let's say I create a line. Just copy it for another instance. Okay. Now I have created this line. I want to divide it into proper segments, whatever segments you want. So I click on this divide option. I'll select the object to divide, and it asks me that how many numbers of segments should I divide it into. So let's say I give 5 and give space. Now you can see over here the line is divided into 5 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I give di, you can measure all the parts are equal. 1, 2, 5, 6. You can see 1, 2, 5, 6. Okay. Ends also, if I see 1, 2, 5, 6, 6, 9, 5, 2. Okay. So this is it how it divides the line. So simple, just use divide, select the object and give how many parts you want to divide it into. Of course, the line is still a complete segment only. It just divide the by giving there here the points. So you can see the points over here. Okay, but this is not divided the line into many parts. After that you have a measure tool. So if I go to measure, I'll come over here, I'll select the object. Now in the measure tool it asks you the distance. Okay, so let's say I want to divide it into 500 distance. Okay, each part of 500, I'll give 500. Now will it be having equal 500 parts? No. What happens is that the last part that will remain may not be exactly 500. So if I come over here, I give di, you can see this is 500. Okay, after that same from here to here 500. All the parts are 500. Okay, except the last part. Let's check the last part. It is 283.475, because in this you tell that divide the lines into 5 equal parts, but over here we tell it to divide it by the distance what you are giving. So we tell it like 500. So it divides everything into 500, and the last part whatever is remaining it keeps as it is. I hope it is clear what is divide and measure tool. That's it. Rest some of them are 3D and we'll discuss later on. The last is we are having a cloud. So this is known as a revision cloud. Why revision cloud? Because if you are having some problems in the sheets and you want to point out, these are known as your revision clouds, or you have made any changes to particular points in the drawings. So with the help of this, you can show it. So over here we have polygonal. So you can just go on creating like this. Okay, so this is polygonal. We have rectangular. Then we have freehand. So you can see over here freehand. I'm just moving it and it is going on creating. So this is your freehand and polygon. This piece it ends over here. So these are your draw tools we have discussed. Now let's move on to the next tool. That is our modified tools we are having. Now in the modified tools, first is move option. Now for that, let's create a sample circle over here. So circle is C circle, and I am creating a circle over here. Now in this circle, if I want to move it, I can simply select it and you can select the center point and you can move it anywhere. But it is moving with respect to the center only right now. So center point is your base point when you're trying to move. Okay. Of course, this can happen. So you can just select and let's say I want this center point to be at 0 comma 0. So I can just give inputs at 0 comma 0. So you can see the circle center has moved at 0 comma 0. But let's say I want this point at 0 comma 0, that is the quadrant point. Now to do that you have to select the circle. You cannot select this directly and move it because this changes the radius of the circle. This grip point is there to change the radius of the circle. So to move this base point exactly at 0 comma 0, what you have to do is give command move. So give m move, or you can just come over here and give move. After you give move, you have to select the object, give space, and now you have to specify the base point. Let's say this is my base point, the quadrant point. And now I can move it wherever I want it. So if you want this at 0 comma 0, now I can just give inputs at 0 comma 0, and you can see the base point is at 0 comma 0. Now let's say I want to move from here the circle, I want to move it towards right with certain distance. So you can give absolute coordinates over here. So giving not absolute, you can give relative coordinates over here. So let's say I want to move this circle 500 distance from this center right now, whatever where it is. So give at the rate, I'll give x 500 comma 0 as y distance space, and you can see the circle has been moved 500. After that, if I give m command move, I specify the center point or any point I specify, and I can just displace it wherever I want it. So you can just displace wherever you want it. Okay, so this is your move command. After that, we have this rotate command. So now let's see rotate command. So if I click on this line, I have created this line. Okay, and I want to rotate this. So simply click on rotate over here or give the shortcut RO rotate, and you have the option to select objects. After you select object, give space. Now you have to specify the base point. The base point is the point through which the line will be rotated. So if I select the side point of this exactly at the end, you can see the line is moving according to that base point. And now I can specify the angles, how much I want the rotation. If you want that in clockwise direction, give negative, positive direction for anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so I am giving, let's say, 90 space, and you can see 90 degrees rotation. If I give, let's say, center point over here for the rotation, so I give RO rotation, I'll specify the base point as the center, and you can say it is moving. Now while this is moving, I can say copy the line. I don't want the initial line to be changed. So I'll say copy the line. So you can see now the original line is at the same position and I'm making a copy while rotating. So let's say I give 180. Now two lines have been created over here. Now I want to explain over here another thing is that is selection cycling. Now what is a selection cycling? See, there is an option known as selection cycling over here. You can see. Now, if two things are overlapping each other, okay, right now you can see I give 180 degrees, so two lines are overlapping. So when I click on this overlapping lines, it gives me option to select between one line and this line. Okay, which line I want to select. But if your selection cycling is off, I don't get the option to select. Every time I just select one line. Now to give another example of this, I'll just draw a rectangle over here. Okay, and I will draw a line. Okay, so at this position you can see that line and rectangle is overlapping, but if let's think that there is no other space to select this rectangle and I have only this place where I can select the rectangle. So if I am trying to click over here, every time you can see the line is being selected, I am not able to select the rectangle. Okay, so I'll just go and turn on this selection cycling. Now if you don't see selection cycling over here, just go to the customization option and from here choose the selection cycling over here. Make sure this is tick mark, then only you can see that option. Now if I come over here and hover this, you can see two rectangles or two small squares near my crosshair. That determines that something is overlapping. So if I click on it, it gives me the option to select the line or polyline. Now the polyline is your rectangle. As soon as I hover over line, the line is in the blue selection, that is known as pre-selection. And polyline, if I hover over the polyline, you can see the blue color for it. So if I click on polyline, now only the rectangle is selected. So this is known as selection cycling. So I can select a line over here and I can just simply delete. Now let's say again rotate, so you can make a selection. I can give rotate option and I pick again the center and I'll give a copy option, and this time I'll just give 90 degree. So you can see the two lines. While rotation I made a copy as well. Okay, so this is your rotate command. After that we have a copy command. So let's see the copy command. For that I'll just create a polygon. Okay. Now the copy command is you can come over here, select copy or give the shortcut CO copy. After that select the objects, space and your copy command is turned on. Now of course for the copy also you need a base point like you had in the move. So you can choose any of the base points. You can choose over here the center of this also as the base point, or over here I can choose this corner as the base point or this corner. So let's say I pick this corner as the base point and you can give the distance where you want it. Okay, so let's say I want at certain distance of 100, let's say. So right now you can see over here I'm on the polar tracking. Now we are going to learn this polar tracking and object snap tracking tomorrow. So let's say I give 100 space and you can see at 100 distance my polygon has been copied. Now over here also straight I can go and give 100 distance. Okay, or you can specify a relative or absolute coordinates as well. So let's say relatively I want this at 100 distance from original place like this. So I can give at the rate x direction I want 0 and y direction I want 100. So I can give that. So you can see over here exactly at 100 distance I have created it. If you want to measure bi, you can measure from here to here. You can see the distance is 100. Of course the distance should be measured from the base point to the base point. Okay, other distances may change, but the distance should be always measured from base point to the base point. So this is your copy command. Of course you can make multiple copies by just giving copy, selecting the base point, and you can see over here you can just go on creating the copies. Okay, so you don't have to activate any multiple command over here. After that, of course, you can go into the array from the copy command itself. So if I select this, I give copy. After I give copy, I can just give over here a distance, select the base point, and over here you get the option of array. So click on array. Now, how many numbers you want of array items? So let's say I want 5. Okay. So now you can see over here, including the original, I have more 4 over here. And now this I have to give the distance. So you can see over here, it is asking me for the distance, at what distance I want to create it. And the next are also maintaining the same distance. So if I just come over here and click on this, you can see over here, it has maintained the distance accordingly. So from the base point, whatever distance you give, the next will be also maintaining that distance only. That is known as your array. Now, if I come over here and again I select and give copy command, select the base point and I give array. Now over here again I see 5 and you can see over here. And I can give the distance what I want. So let's say I want 100 distance. So I'll just provide 100 and I'm done over here. Now once I provide 100 distance, you can see your array has been created. Now 5 including the original one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what is the difference between the array command and the copy command array? Okay, we are using array from the copy command. Remember that each item over here is an individual. So you can see over here, this is individually selected. I can select this any one of them individually. But in the array command, we'll be seeing that everything you just click any of the object, they are all selected together. That is known as the array command over there, the array. So that is the difference between the copy array and the array over here. We'll be looking at it later. Okay, so this is your copy command. After that, we have a mirror command. So let's say
So,
you want to, yes,
sir, how can we apply array command in circular shape or
yeah,
maybe
for that we
semicircular?
are having a polar array over here. So you can see over here polar array, path array. We'll be discussing that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So coming back to this, so we want to, let's say, mirror this object. So I can just select it. I can pick mirror from here, or I can just type mi. I have the mirror option. So I'll select this. After that, you can specify the point of mirror line. Now, what is a mirror line is that it is a line about which your object mirror will be created. So if I click over here a mirror line, from that mirror line, it will be maintaining the same distance and it will be creating the mirror to the other side. So if I create a mirror line exactly from over here, so if I give this and from here I am creating, so you can see exactly that distance only will be created and it will ask me if you want to delete source object or not. To show you again, I am selecting this mirror command, selecting object space. It asks me to create a mirror line. I am creating this mirror line over here. You can see it is maintaining distance. If I am moving this mirror line close, you can see the objects, other objects are also moving close. The blue is your original one, the white is that is being created. If you move like this, you can see over here.
Sir, it's a reflector of an original object.
Yeah, it is a reflection of an original object, but the mirror line maintains and decides the distance what will be there between the two objects. So where you
Okay, sir.
create mirror line is important. So right now over here you can see that it is asking me the question like erase source objects, yes or no. So if I say yes, it will delete this original object, and if I say no, it will not delete the original. So if I say no, you can see original object is there. Now just to show you how the mirror line maintains everything, I'll just create a line over here. We'll give mirror. I'll select this object mirror, and this is the mirror line I am creating now. You can see over here, and I'll say erase. It will remove it. Of course, I'll say no, and now you can see that di from here to here the distance is 78.9895. The same distance you'll find from here to here 78.9895. So you can understand the mirror line decides the distances between each other. Okay, so if you have created a line, it will be double of this. So the total distance between this object and this object, you can see 157.9789. So this is how mirror command works. Just 1 minute. Okay, so now let's discuss what is stretch command.
So can we preset whether to keep original object or not? Can we preset it?
No, you cannot preset. It will be always asking you the question. So
Okay.
should you delete it or no?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now coming back over here, you have the stretch option. Now where the stretch option works and how it works, that is very much important to because its working is somewhat different. Okay. So let's say I have a window created over here. I'll just create it. Oh, I'll just leave. Let's see. So you can see over here the window is there in two parts I have created over here. So above glass is there and below glass is there. So let's say at certain point of time I decide that I want to change the shape of the above window. I want this above should be more in height as compared to the bottom one. Now to change this, what options you will use? Either you will select this, but when you select it, you will have to select this point over here. We'll be discussing, these are your multi-grip points. We'll be discussing this multi-grip points again, multifunctional grip points we said. So I will have to stretch this in a straight line. After that, I will have to select this and I will have to stretch this. This is one way how I can decide the height, how much it is going to change. But this is simple for a simple window. Now how I can do it with the help of stretch command. Now click on stretch. After you stretch it, I'll just give a green window selection. Now in this green window selection, I want you to observe that what are the things that are partially selected and what are the things that are completely selected. So you can see that two horizontal lines that are white in color. Can you see the two horizontal lines? This two horizontal lines, just observe, they are completely selected, and the other one, these are partially selected lines. So this line, this line, this line, this line, these are partially selected. So in the stretch command, what happens is that I'll make the selection, I'll give space, and I'll specify a base point. So from this base point I'm changing. Now you can see that only that lines are changing the shape which were partially selected. The rest lines that were completely selected, can you see the above two lines horizontal? They're not at all changing its shape wherever I move it. They are keeping its distance, everything maintained, but the partially selected lines are changing its shape, or stretch command is activated only for that. So if I want to share, hold it, change the size perfectly. So I can hold shift for the ortho mode and I can just shift it how much distance I want. And you can see the window has been done. Now to give another example for this, I can just create a bathtub just to show you. So bathtub is like a 2D representation of the bathtub. So I'll just create over here a rectangle. See? So this is what I am having, and I can just simply create a small circle over here for the water trap, let's say. Okay. So let's say this is the size of your bathtub. Now, if I want to reduce the size of this circles, what options do I have? I can either just move this inside, then I can select this and move this inside. Okay, and then I can just trim this off the ends, whatever I am having. But instead of doing it, another option is the stretch. Now, without changing the arc length, I can go to the stretch command. Now, just observe over here what is partial selection. So you can see over here the arcs are under complete selection. It lies completely inside this green box. Okay, but the lines that you see over here, the horizontal lines, this four horizontal part lines are partially inside the green box. So I can just select this. Now I have to provide a base point. So I will give space. A base point is created, and I can choose from where I want to increase the distance. And you can see over here the distance being increased or decreased. Okay, simple. Again, if I want to increase it, I'll just have go to stretch, select, select the base point. I can give the center as the base point. I can move it. Now, even if I am moving anywhere, you can see the arc is maintaining its whatever its properties are there. Okay, and only the lines that were partially selected are changing. So this is your stretch command. Now, if I want to show this circle, so see what happens when I get this circle completely inside. Or let's say in this part, I take only this two partial lines inside. So if I go to stretch command, you can see over here, this four lines are partially selected now. And if I give base point, you can see this four lines are only changing its shape. No other lines are moving. Only those four lines are changing its shape. So if I want to change the width of the window, what I can do is use stretch command. I can select all this partially. Now when I'm selecting all this partially, you can understand that vertical lines are completely inside this green box. Now you can see the vertical lines do not change any shape. Only the horizontal lines are changing its shape wherever I go. So this is your stretch command. I hope that is clear to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. The next we are having a scale. Over here we can see the scale. Now let's see how the scale works. Of course, you have two ways to scale the things. The first is I've created a radius 20 circle. So you have a scale option. You can click on scale. I can select the object, give space. After that, it asks me what should be the base point. So let's say I give the center as my base point. Now it is asking me for a scale factor. Now what is the scale factor is that it multiplies all the dimensions by the scale factor. So let's say I give a scale factor of 0.5. Now giving 0.5 is that 1 by 2. Okay, zero point 0.5 is 1 by 2. So a scale factor of 1 by 2 will reduce everything into half. Okay, so if I give 0.2, 0.5 let's say, and give space, and if you measure the dimension over here, it is 20. The radius of the circle was 20 before, so the diameter was 40. So now you can see over here the diameter has become 20. So this is your scale factor. You can give any scale factor. Now if I give scale factor of 2, it will multiply this diameter 20 two times. That will become 40 diameter. So just to show you, you can give SC scale space, specify the base point, and I will give the scale factor as 2, and you can have the measurement over here. So you can see this is 40 now. So this is your scale factor. Now while scaling also you can copy. So I can give this, give SC scale, specify the base point, and over here you have the option of copy. I'll give copy and I'll say 0.5. That is reduced over here to 0.5. That is half of what original was there. Or if you give 2 over here, so I'm selecting the same circle, scale, base point, and let's say I'm giving a copy of it and I see that 2 is the scale factor. So you can see over here it has double of what was initial. So this is your scale factor. The next is reference scaling. Reference scaling you will be seeing at the time of when we scale the PDF for taking it into, let's say, into Revit. When we'll be scaling the AutoCAD drawings, we'll be seeing that what is reference scaling. So we won't be seeing the reference scaling right now. After that we have the trim command over here. So just to see the trim command, I'll just create some objects or the lines. Any random shape I am creating. I'll just move this. Now what is a trim command? The trim command works that if you want to trim some in between objects, for that we have a trim command. So trimming the lines, trimming the circle parts. So if I click on trim command, we have different two ways to trim the object. First is by just selecting one line and I give space. Now whatever you are having around that object, you can just simply trim it, but it trims completely. So you can see over here, the line is trimming completely, that is passing through this line. So you can see over here, this is trimming completely, or this half circle, it is trimming completely, or this side half circle is completely trimming around the circle. Of course, we have many lines joining at this point, but still it is just considering about this line. Okay, trimming about this line. So you can see it is trimming complete line, not just the line between these two lines. Okay, so this is the first way of trimming the things. The second way is that you have to press trim command, give space, don't select any objects first. Give space once and again give the space. Okay, sorry. Use trim command. This is the first thing, and give space once without selecting any objects. And now you can just go anywhere and you can see it is trimming just between the two lines. Okay, this line to this line, only this line, only this line, not the complete object. And you can hover any object, you can go to any object, not just limited to the line that you selected before. So you can see over here I can trim anything. So this is known as your trim option. Okay, you can trim anything, any circle parts. So this is your trim option. Okay, so mostly I'll say use this trim, not the first one, by selecting objects and this trimming. This is more convenient one to use this trimming. After this trimming, if you hold shift in the trim option only, you get to extend option. So extend is creating extend of that. So you can see whatever the part I had trimmed over here of this circle, if I hold shift, you can see it is trying to complete it. Over here, this trim part was there. If I hold shift and press, this is your extend option. This line was trimmed. So you can see this circle was trimmed over here. I can just shift, done. So this is your extend option, or instead of that you can go through the extend option differently also. So you have to drop down this and you have extend. So click on extend. Over here also, without selecting any object, just click space and now you can extend anything. So you can see over here I can extend anything. See over here, this line you can extend. Like this way your extend command works. So if there is a line
Sir,
created over
can
here,
you please tell the commands also,
yeah,
like shortcut commands for these
yeah,
trim
shortcut
and
is TR for the trim and
okay.
EX for the extend.
EX single enter, sir, or is it double enter?
No, no, EX. Just give EX.
EX
Done.
enter.
Yeah, enter or space. TR space. No, the single and double enter is that. See, EX space. It gives select objects, but I told you don't select objects. Directly give space once more and then try to use the command. This is a more convenient one. I can simply
Okay.
extend over here. You can see it extends up till this line. If I come over here, extend, then extend this line. You can extend this line, going on continuously up till this line you are having.
So
Up to
this is
this.
by using trim and pressing shift simultaneously.
No, both ways are same. You can see right now I'm in the extend command. So EX space, again give space. If I hold shift now, I'm in the extend command right now. Okay. So if
Okay.
I give shift, I can go into the trim command. So you can see I'm trimming the things.
Okay.
Okay.
By
And if
holding the
I
shift,
leave
it
the shift,
reverses the command.
yeah, it reverses the
Okay.
command by holding the shift, whichever
Okay.
command you are in.
Okay. Okay.
So this is your trim and extend command. Now after that, we are having the command as fillet, chamfer, and blend curves. Now what are those? Now let's say I create a line over here. Now fillet over here. Now the fillet is a circular sheet. So if I select this line and I select this line, it is creating a fillet. But the radius is very much small, so I cannot see it. So first I will do is what? I'll select the fillet command. I'll go to radius, and you can see the radius is right now completely 0. So I'll make this as 15 radius. Done. After done 15 radius, I can select this line and I can select the other line, and you can see it is creating a 15 radius fillet. So this is known as your fillet. But while you were doing the fillet, the next other lines what were there that has been deleted or it has been trimmed. So if you don't want that to be trimmed, what we can do? So let's give fillet command. So press F, give space. That is your shortcut. I'll go to radius. Let's say radius, I'll change it to 5. And now over here you have a trim option. So I'll go to trim and I will say no trim. I don't want this to be trimmed. Now if I select this, you can see the initial line has not been trimmed. Can you see this line has not trimmed because I have used no trim option. Now I can give space. I'm back to the this command, fillet command. If I use multiple, I want to do it at multiple places. Let's say this 3 points also I want to do. So come to multiple over here, select multiple, and now you can just go on selecting wherever you want. That's it. Okay. So this way you can have multiple. Now coming back over here, if I want, let's say, chamfer over here. So coming to this, chamfer is a line. Over here in the fillet, you have a radius, chamfer is a line. So I'll select chamfer. Now it asks me to select the first line and I am selecting the second line. But when I am selecting second line, it is not creating any chamfer because chamfer distances are needed. So I'll click on chamfer over here, and now you have to give the distance. So when I click on distance, it will ask me first chamfer distance. So I'll give two chamfer distances are there. I'll give them differently so you'll understand what is first chamfer distance and second chamfer distance. So first chamfer distance, let's say I'm giving 20. Second chamfer distance, now you can see specify second chamfer distance, and second chamfer distance I'm giving 10. Now let's see what happens. I'm selecting this line first, I'm selecting this line second. Now you can see a distance of 20 and distance of 10. Now whatever line you select first will be your first chamfer distance. I'll just simply delete this if you are getting confused. So first chamfer distance is the first line that you select. Again, go into the chamfer. I'm selecting this as my first line, this as my second line. So you can see the distance of first line, this to this, is 20, and this to this will be 10. This is how it works. Okay, so let me just zoom in and pick up the perfect point. 20 and 10. Same over here, 20 and 10. So this is how the chamfer works. Now if you want to trim the in between part, this lines you don't want and you want this to be trimmed, so what you can do is go to chamfer. Over here we have trim option, say trim, and right now I can select this as first line, this as second line, and you can see the remaining lines are trimmed and chamfer is created from this line to this line. So this is how your chamfer command works. After the chamfer command, we are having another is the blend curves. Now what a blend curves is that it creates a curve between the two lines that you select. So you can see over here a curve was created. So this is your blend curve that you are having. Now the blend curve is nothing else but it is a spline control vertices line. So if I create two lines over here and I use blend curves option, I'll select this line and this line, and you can see the line is created. Now of course you can convert this spline into fit or control vertices. Okay, and you can change the curve from this control vertices. So this is your blend curve option. After that we are having is,
Sir, blend once more.
yeah, so if you are having two lines and you want to join by a
Kindly
curve, that is
repeat.
no, yes, someone is trying to say something.
Can you explain that command with the curves?
Yes,
I
sir.
did not
Kindly
get.
repeat. Proceed
Yeah,
with
yeah,
sir.
yeah. So blend curves is that if you come over here, you want to join the two lines, you can just simply click on the blend curves and you can select the two lines and the
So,
endpoints of it. Yeah.
hello. So, with curves, means you are explaining with the lines, joining two lines. We are asking about to join two curves with the blend command.
Okay. So if you want to create curves like this, so let's say, and you want to do join this and this, right?
Yes, exactly. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that is how a blend curve is created over here. So this is how blend curve works. After that, you are
Can we do
having,
it with curve and line also? Means,
yes, of course, that is a
okay.
curve only. So if you are having this curve, let's say, and you are having a line over here, go to blend curve, select this, you can see over here.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So what
After
is the
that,
use of blend curve command?
blend curves is like joining it with the
Blend
help of
command actually.
curves, nothing special. You can just either you can do this way also. So I
Yeah.
can join it by selecting the curve option from here to here. That's it. I can join like this way. Okay. So it is
Sir,
not
I'm a
like, yes.
sir. No dimensions are involved in it. That's why I'm asking. Two curves, lines, curves, and two lines. That's all.
Yeah, no, it is just joining the points of two lines with the help of curves. No dimensions or anything is involved.
Okay.
Yeah, because see, I'm picking this line, I'm picking this line. It is joining simply by a curve. No dimensions or no nothing. I can of course move this with the help of control vertices as well. Okay. Or what you can do is, let's say I come over here, I select this, and select this. I can take this point to the start of this. I can take this point to the end of this. That's it. Same blend curve I have got it. I can move it however I want. Nothing specific about it. Okay. After that, you have rectangular array, polar array, and path array. Now let's see what is rectangular array. So let's say I create a polygon over here. Now in this, I'll click first is rectangular array. I'll select objects, and you can see over here directly an array is created. Now as I told you, in this array, when you try to select one object, all the objects are selected together. In the copy array, this used to not happen. Now in this array, you can determine what should be the columns. So these are your columns, these are your rows. Okay, so you can determine how many columns you want. So if I give 8 and give space, sorry, give enter, so you can see over here 8 columns created. What distance should be there between that? If I give 100, so 100 will be the distance between each polygon that I am having. total distance. Now what is the total distance? Total from one point to the end point over here. Between distance is between each of this. Total distance is from the start to the end. Seven hundred. 700. Okay, that is your total distance from the first to the last. Okay, of course the distance will be measured from base point to base point. Okay, so if I select this, you can see over here base point option. Okay, so I can change the base points as well. So if I click on base point, right now you can see the base point is at the center. I can make this as my base point. So the distance will be from base point to base point only, whatever distance you see over here, between distance or total distance. Now if I take between distance, don't calculate like this. From this point to this point, it should be 100. No, it is from base point to base point. So if I select this point to this point, 100, this point to this point. Now this is symmetrical, so you are having 100 distance over here, the same 100. Okay, but generally the distance what you see over here, whatever the values you are inputting, that is from the base point to base point distances. After that, you have over here rows. So of course you can change the rows. So let's say I want 5 rows. I'll give enter, and you can see over here you are having 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, you have between distance. So between distance, as I told you, 100. You can have it, and total distance will be from the first to the last base point, whatever you are having. After that, next you are having is levels. Okay, so levels 1, 1, 1. Now what is levels? Levels is for Z direction. So if I go to levels and I give 5 levels, give enter. Now you can see levels are created, but they are just over here. You can see the distance is less between distance. So I'll just increase the between distance to 50. And you can see over here the 50 created in Z direction. So the levels is for the Z direction. So if I give this total as 500, of course the between distance will change. So you can see this is in the Z direction.
Sir, where can we use this?
Yeah,
Let,
to create objects in the auditorium and all these things. If you want to show chairs, you're having multiple objects. Let's say you want to show a top view of the chairs. Okay, so you can use the array command for it. It's an auditorium, let's say you can create array with the help of chairs and all these things. So wherever the multiple objects at equal distances you are having, you can create this.
and where can we use this levels?
So it is
Level Z
AutoCAD
directions.
3D, I think.
Yeah, AutoCAD 3D you can use it, because in
Mm-hmm.
2D of course the
Yes,
Z direction will not be coming into the play.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. After this, if you select it, you get some multiple multi-functional grip points. Now, what are the grip points? You can see over here arrow. Arrows are over here also, inside also you can see 2 arrows, and outside also. Now let's see what are the different options available. So if I hover over this, you can see over here column count, total column spaces, and axis angle. Now column count is the same column count that you are having over here. So I can just click on this and I can go on increasing the column count. Okay. So you can see over here it is showing me the number columns is equal to 5, 6, 7. So I can input the value, let's say 20, and it is being created 20. I can hover over this total column spacing. So I can just reduce or increase the total column spacing also from here how much I want. So these are the options you get. So if I hover, I get the axis angle, and I can change the angle now at what angles we want this. So this is your axis angle. So from here you get the same option you'll be getting for the rows from here. So you can see row count, total row spacing, axis angle. After that, inside you are getting some. So if I hover inside circles or inside arrow, and if I move it, it will be changing the distance of between. Okay, between distance will be changing. The columns will remain same, and it will be changing the between distance. So if I come over here, you can see it is changing the between distance. So that is for the inside arrows. and the last one is over here, the last option. So you can see over here, from here you can change row and column count, you can change total row and column spacing. So both can be changed together. So row and column count, so you can see both are changing together. If you use spacing, both will be changing the spacing together for the rows also and for the columns as well. So this is your rectangular array. Next we'll see tomorrow. The next options we are having is path array, polar array, offsets, explode, erase options. Then we are having the polar tracking, object snap tracking. These things we have to see, and then we'll move to 2D geometries. How to create different 2D geometries. I'll be giving you certain exercises that you have to perform. I hope this is clear. Any doubts?
सर हेलो,
Yes.
अभी आपने जो रेक्टेंगुलर एरे में लेवल्स का दिखाया ना,
Yeah.
हाँ तो लेवल्स में वो एक के ऊपर एक लेवल में आ रहा है, और जब ऑडिटोरियम में जाते हैं तो सीट्स जो है चेयर वो एक के पीछे एक रहते हैं ना, तो वो एक बार शो करके दिखाया ना कैसे होता है।
ओके, तो उसके लिए आप क्या करोगे, इसको z डायरेक्शन
हाँ
में लेके जाओगे. ओके, so I'll select this and I'll go to array levels. Let's say I'll create 3 between distance, let's say 100. Okay, you have got this. I can come over
हाँ
to hover the arrow.
हाँ
Okay, once you have created this, what we can do is we can use explode command. So go to home, we have explode command over here. Now this explodes it. After that, what we do is I'm selecting the top ones. Okay, this is done.
हम्म,
Give move. How much distance I want to take it back, I can move it backwards. So you can see
इंडिविजुअली करना है।
I can do it. Yeah,
ठीक,
that's it. Okay, so this way we can have it. So you have to specify, or you can specify, if you know the coordinates, you can specify x, y, z coordinates, and you can move accordingly as well.
ओके सर।
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for
Sir,
today.
sir,
Yeah.
sir, I had one question, but it's not related to AutoCAD. It's
Yeah.
on
Tell me.
3ds Max. It's on 3ds Max and Revit. Sir, my question was like when we are working in any industry, so like 3ds Max is not as intelligent in terms of dimension as Revit is. So what do
Yeah.
we do? Like, do we if we have to present to the client with a very good visualization and render, then we use 3ds Max. Revit is
Yes.
not that good in that sense.
No,
So
Revit is good. You can
mhm,
take the model and do this thing. See, why 3ds Max? Because
mhm,
let's say you want to show curtains and interior things of the model.
mhm,
Okay,
yeah,
the detailing level of which every polygon you can take. See, all the objects are made up of polygons. I have
mhm,
discussed this before.
no sir.
Okay, see, every object is made up of polygons. Okay, so if you
Mhm,
check 3D polygonal
Yes,
yes
object,
sir,
sir.
we
We
discussed
have
about it।
discussed.
yeah, so they are made of polygons. So each detailing of polygon is dependent in the 3ds Max. Okay, so you can change it minutely. That option is not available in Revit. So if you want to go in more detailing, like you want to create a flower vase that you want to show, a curtains textures, or beds in which you want to show the blankets and pillows, that level of detailing you can do in 3ds Max, but not in Revit. Revit is
yes
more
sir.
of an intelligent beam software. Okay.
Mhm. So my question was like, if we have to do both things, like we have to do on a single AutoCAD drawing, we have to also make a very good model of the building with a very good render, and also we have to do the BIM work. So
So in
what should
rendering, how much
what is the
detailing you want to?
workflow, sir?
Yeah. So if
Like,
you how much detailing you want to go into the render depends on you. So if just a simple model you want to show with the beams and columns, of course you can show showing the renders of Revit also. Of course, Revit you can show beds and everything. Okay, it is not that you cannot show small objects. The families
Mm-hmm.
are also available for it, but it depends on you how much detailing you want to go. Most of the time the detailing, interior people have to go more into the detailing of showing curtains and this. As a beam engineer, so engineer does not have to do all these things. They want to show their columns, structures, what these things are there, they want to go more into the detail of it. So they generally use Revit and showcase the same things rendered using the Enscape or any other softwares.
So,
Twin Motion is there. All the
yeah.
softwares you can use and show it. Okay.
So, sir, like if there is a 10-story building, so the work is done twice. Like once we import the AutoCAD drawing in the Revit, then we do the all the BIM work, or we directly and we do the 3ds Max work separately, or do we just make the model in Revit and just import in
You can make the
3ds
model in
Max?
Revit and you can import it in 3ds Max. And once
Yeah.
you import in 3ds Max, after that you
Hmm.
can just go on adding all the objects that you want more extra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you can
Hmm.
modify the Revit buildings also. It is not
Yeah,
an
we can
problem
add
at
the
all.
materials and everything, and then do the render
Yes,
like.
yes, you can do that as well.
Yeah. So that
So,
is basically the workflow, sir. Like we import
No,
AutoCAD
see,
into Revit
you
and then
cannot
Revit
say
from
a
Revit.
common workflow. You cannot call this common workflow. There are enormous softwares in the industry. Anyone can
Mm-hmm.
decide what they want to use, what workflow. It
Mm-hmm.
completely depends from company to company according to the requirements.
Mm-hmm. So based on your experience, what is the general workflow?
No, I cannot say a general workflow because, as I told you in the starting of the beam only, there are many
Mm-hmm.
softwares in the industry. People can use Lumion, SketchUp, all this as a combinations. Okay, SketchUp for conceptual modeling they may use, and later on they can use the Revit for the detailing model, and may use Enscape for rendering purpose just. So depending upon their need, they can decide if they want
So
to
the
sell the flats of a building. Okay, let's take that they want to sell the flats of the building. They want to make a detailed pamphlets of it where what the rooms will be, a 3 bhk flat, how will it look. So they can use 3ds Max only for one flat of detailing. Okay, they may not be more completing the entire building of 3ds Max. Okay, so it depends on the needs of the project.
okay, okay.
Yes.
can we import Revit model in Lumion also?
Revit model in Lumion. No, I have
Yes.
to check the workflow. There are different file formats, so I'll have to check it because I have never used Lumion.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So is there direct import
as
option available? I don't know.
Okay, as you have told us about the big beam, little beam,
Yeah.
can we, as we do SketchUp model and linked it with Lumion model, so can we apply it similarly here? Means
See,
can we
little
link?
beam, big beam is about the building information models that we are creating. SketchUp
Okay,
models are not beam models. Okay. When I'm talking about the beam models, it is an intelligent models providing me the information of like volume, all these things that are related more to the engineering technical side. Okay, what are the firefighting hours of the walls, and all these details are there what I can fill in. The SketchUp models, the 3ds Max models cannot fill in. I was talking about the different softwares of, let's say, Tekla is there. Then I am having the
okay,
software like ArchiCAD. All
not
this were
rendering
about
softwares.
little being. No, 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 not about rendering softwares.
Okay, so we can't
Rendering.
link the rendering software with the Revit. If I import the Revit model in Lumion or 3ds Max, so if I link, can I link both the models? Means if I make changes in Revit, it got implemented in 3ds Max or Lumion, means like rendering software.
Yeah, see, direct linking is available for a plugin like Enscape. So that is what we are
Okay,
going to learn Enscape. Why we
okay,
are going to learn? Because Enscape is
okay.
an plugin for Revit. But other softwares, I don't know if they will make a direct link option. When
In
we
V-Ray
learn
also,
Enscape, I will tell
V-Ray
you.
also, sir, it is.
V-Ray is for
Yes, for
3ds Max.
Windows,
Okay.
V-Ray,
V-Ray also, sir.
SketchUp, they
We don't
have
do that.
linking option. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, different softwares have
I
different
used
linking
Sir
limits.
V-Ray in this Revit.
Yeah, I've
There is
never checked Revit and other things.
interactive rendering and production rendering. So interactive is when you make changes in Revit, it will reflect in the V-Ray render.
Yeah, I have never tried it, so I have no
Okay.
information about it. Of course, I'll be teaching Enscape, so I know
Yeah.
about Enscape how it works.
So the person working on BIM will not make projects on 3ds Max, or he has to do both things.
No, it is not compulsion. See, there are different kinds of jobs
No,
for
not
different.
compulsion, sir. Like compulsion, like it is what has come across your eyes in the past.
See, there is no compulsion as such. It depends upon what is your job profile. So your
Hmm.
job profile is for the visualization. They may ask you to work on 3ds Max. They will be just giving you the Revit models, and they may tell you to create good visualization to represent to other companies. Okay, so your more job
Okay,
will be on 3ds Max, less job on your this. Not only
on
just
Revit.
3ds Max
Hmm.
visualization, we have now gaming engines also. So
Hmm.
you cannot have a proper, see, in the industry different companies are working with different softwares and they have
Okay,
different workflows. No one has a common workflow, or there is no standard of having a beam workflow. I already told you, beam process, there is no standardization of it. There are
okay. So, sir,
guidelines for it.
so anyone who
Standardization
is
of
work,
softwares is not there.
okay, sir, okay. So anyone working in BIM, like if he's working on Revit, but he is good with visualization, so he can shift to that 3ds Max
Yes,
and do visualization.
yes, of course.
So that also, sir, comes under BIM if he's working on 3ds Max and doing the visualizations.
Well, no, not compulsory. It comes under the beam, but yeah, it is a part of beam process because we talk about start to end of the project, so it becomes a beam
Mm-hmm.
process. But
Mm-hmm.
exactly, you're not coming under the beam modeling part.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, that's it for today. Let me take your attendance. Divya, Ajay,
Yes, sir.
Samir,
Present, sir.
Pavan,
So,
Asif,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nawaz,
Yes, sir.
Nivedita,
Sir Asif.
Yes, sir.
Shubham,
Yes, sir.
Hiteshwari,
Present.
Aisha, Akash, Minu, Riaz,
yes, sir.
Fahad,
Yes, sir.
Soleha,
Present, sir.
Soumya Devi.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everyone. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.